Okay, let's unpack this. Today we're doing something a little different, yet definitely aligns with our core mission. We're diving into excerpts from a really fascinating piece of literature, White Jade Tiger, a tale of conflict and choice. We're specifically focusing on a sequence of chapters that unravels this incredibly complex web of, well, loyalty, betrayal, and some truly shocking revelations.
It's quite the ride.
It is. Our mission, as always, is to extract the most important nuggets of knowledge and insight from this rich story, treating its narrative, almost as if it were a factual account.
Right, like analyzing a case study.
Exactly. We'll analyze its characters, its intricate plot twists, and the profound underlying philosophical questions, all to uncover deeper truths about human nature, strategy, and really the very definition of identity.
What's truly fascinating here, I think, beyond the immediate plot, is how this narrative just relentlessly challenges our ingrained perceptions of heroes and villains. You think you know who's who, but then
It pulls the rug out.
it really does. It peels back layer after layer of human motivation, forcing us to confront the true cost of commitment and the devastating implications of long-held secrets. This isn't just a story. It's like a masterclass in psychological tension and moral ambiguity.
Yeah.
We're going to follow our protagonist, a character named Wuji, as he navigates a world steeped in danger and deception. And I promise you, the culmination of his journey involves revelations that will not only redefine everything he thought he knew, but will push the boundaries of what we understand about loyalty, sacrifice, and the burdens we choose or are forced to carry.
I'm ready. So, having set the stage for this deep dive into the White Jade Tiger, let's plunge headfirst into the narrative's opening gambit, an encounter that is, well, anything but a polite introduction.
Definitely not polite.
Imagine this, April 25th, sunny day, right? But our protagonist, Zhao Wuji, finds himself in Shangguan Ren's backyard, completely exposed. He's positioned directly in the blinding glare of the sun, while Shangguan Ren stands comfortably in the cool shade of a ginkgo tree.
Yeah, it's a setup.
Totally. This isn't just a physical disadvantage. It's a meticulously crafted trap designed to disarm Wuji before a single word is even spoken. He can barely make out Shangguan Ren's features through the glare, yet he knows every pore on his own face is starkly visible to the man who holds his fate.
You hit on a critical point there. The setup is far more than just a simple power play. Shangguan Ren isn't just asserting dominance, he's conducting a highly specific psychological test.
So what's the real test here? Is it just the sun, or...?
Well, the sun is the tool, but the test is deeper. This raises an important question. What kind of leader deliberately puts someone at such a disadvantage right from the get-go? It speaks volumes about Shangguan Ren's profound cunning, his desire to test not just Wuji's physical ability, but his psychological resilience, his composure under duress, the very limits of his character. He's not looking for a mere fighter or some compliant subordinate. He's looking for someone who can perform not despite extreme conditions, but within them. Someone whose reactions under that kind of pressure reveal their true, unvarnished nature.
So he's testing his mettle, almost like he's seeing if he's got the right stuff for whatever comes next.
Exactly. And Wuji, despite this glaring, almost humiliating disadvantage, still finds himself grudgingly admiring Shangguan Ren's meticulousness. It's a strange moment of respect, almost.
Yeah. And the conversation that follows is immediately chilling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cuts right to the heart of the world they inhabit. Shangguan Ren starts by talking about the flaws in even the most clever disguises when exposed to sunlight.
The details.
Specifically mentioning human skin masks and how dead skin is different from living skin.
Oof.
The implication is undeniably clear. If Wuji were wearing such a mask, his true identity, his very face, would betray him under that kind of scrutiny.
That chilling observation about dead skin versus living skin, it immediately establishes the deadly stakes involved in their world. A world where identity is fluid and deception is like a fundamental tool for survival.
Right.
And Wuji's audacious, almost mocking retort about using buttock skin for a softer mask, it's not just crude humor, is it?
Yeah, definitely not.
It's a powerful signal to Shangguan Ren that Wuji is not easily rattled, that he can think on his feet, even when faced with such a morbid and direct threat. This tells Shangguan Ren that Wuji possesses this defiant intelligence and a willingness to embrace the unconventional, maybe even the grotesque, to achieve his ends.
And that's when Shangguan Ren delivers his assessment.
Right. The crucial line, you are the kind of person who would do anything when necessary. This isn't a judgment, not really. It's more like a statement of fact, painting Wuji as someone indispensable to his as yet unrevealed plans.
It's more than just an assessment, though. It feels like Shangguan Ren is laying down the gauntlet, acknowledging Wuji's ruthless practicality, his capacity to maybe transcend conventional moral boundaries for a bigger goal.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's why he specifically wants Wuji there.
And the conversation then pivots, almost jarringly, to Wuji's personal life. Shangguan Ren casually asks about Wuji sleeping late because he was with women.
Another test. Right.
Totally. Wuji's candid and defiant responses confirming his late start due to only one woman and stating he does it simply because he's happy are another subtle test. He's not just confirming a habit, he's asserting his independence, his refusal to conform to any perceived moral or social expectations.
Precisely. Wuji isn't merely a physical threat. He's this complex personality who refuses to be molded, kind of a free spirit in a world of rigid structures.
To Shangguan Ren's reaction, or lack thereof.
Exactly. His silent, unreadable reaction to Wuji's personal revelations is incredibly telling. Wuji tries to gauge his expression, searching for any hint of judgment or surprise, but finds nothing. Just nothing. It suggests a master of composure, someone who reveals nothing unless it serves a specific purpose.
And then, after what must have felt like forever.
Just 4 words. Brutally simple, he cuts through the tension with blunt finality. You stay here.
Just like that. No further explanation, no debate, no room for questions.
Nope. Just an abrupt yet deeply binding end to the initial confrontation, hinting at deeper, more complex plans already in motion for Wuji.
That abrupt conclusion, you stay here, isn't just a command. It's almost a dismissal that simultaneously binds Wuji to whatever Shangguan Ren has planned.
They leaves him hanging.
Totally. Leaves Wuji in this state of suspended animation, unsure of his immediate purpose, yet firmly trapped within a system whose rules he doesn't even know yet. This whole interaction is just a masterclass in establishing power, psychological testing, and setting the stage for a story steeped in manipulation and hidden motives.
Indeed. It signals to Wuji that his fate is now, like it or not, inextricably linked to Shangguan Ren's grand scheme, whatever that might be. So having endured that initial probing...
That grilling in the sun.
Exactly. The immediate aftermath of Wuji's command to stay here shifts our focus to his new reality. And it's pretty stark. He's confined, not just physically, but his entire routine is now dictated by Shangguan Ren's unseen hand. Let's delve into the unsettling details of Wuji's gilded cage and the curious companionship he finds within.
Right, so Wuji's now confined. His new living situation is described as this rather bleak, 3 bright, 2 dark, 5-room house.
Doesn't sound cheerful.
Not at all. It's in a cold courtyard, sparsely adorned with a few crabapple pots and phoenix trees, giving the whole place a somber, isolating feel. And this is where he's introduced to Lao Kong, or Old Kong, who is appointed as his follower and cook, which is a weird assignment for Wuji, right?
It's very strange. But if we connect this to the bigger picture, the seemingly mundane confinement and this tedious work are themselves part of the larger test.
Ah, so it's not over.
Not by a long shot. It's about endurance, patience, and subtly observing dynamics from within. This isn't just a waiting game for Wuji. It's an immersive intelligence-gathering operation, potentially, where Wuji's reactions and observations are likely being monitored. The environment itself is part of this controlled experiment designed to assess his suitability for, well, whatever deeper role Shangguan Ren has in mind.
And Lao Kong, this cook. It turns out he isn't actually named Kong. His real surname is Tang.
Right. Supposedly a distant relative to the powerful Tang Kui and Tang Ao, figures of significant influence within the family.
Which could be important. And his reason for the nickname Kong is quite telling and kind of self-deprecating. Kong means a hole, and his mouth, he says, is just a hole for wine.
Yeah, it immediately paints this picture of a man utterly dedicated to his drink, a seemingly harmless yet perhaps deceptively astute character.
You think he's more than he seems?
It's possible. Lao Kong's character is fascinating because he operates on multiple levels. His constant drinking and sighing aren't just quirks. They might reflect a deeper, perhaps cynical wisdom about patience and waiting for an opportune moment. He advises Wuji to stay put, to wait, which subtly reinforces the idea that there's a grander scheme at play and that rushed, impulsive actions often lead to ruin. This also hints at the pervasive nature of information gathering within the Tang family. Even a seemingly inconsequential figure like Lao Kong might be a shrewd observer or maybe even an unwitting conduit for information given his daily comings and goings. You never know in these kinds of stories.
True. And as Wuji endures the tedium of the ledgers and the isolation, even the mundane stuff becomes part of the psychological grind. like the food. Lao Kong diligently prepares 3 meals a day, 6 dishes, one soup. Sounds okay, right?
Sounds decent.
Except for one particular item that stands out, almost comically grim. The notorious leather-like stir-fried beef.
Oh no, not the beef.
Yeah. Wuji's forced consumption of this unappetizing dish for days on end, 7 or 8 meals consecutively, isn't just bad cooking. It's a constant, low-level irritation, a test of his very resolve. It mirrors the soul-crushing monotony of his assigned task. Copying these thick ledgers, endless, tedious accounting work.
Ugh.
His frustration is palpable. He wants to confront Sheng Wanren, demand to know why he's being subjected to this, demoralizing stuff when his real mission is waiting.
The leather-like beef, as you say, is more than just a culinary detail. It symbolizes the grinding, unstimulating nature of Wuji's forced existence. It's a constant, low-level irritation designed to wear down his resolve, maybe to see how long he can endure without complaining, or to assess his discipline in the face of just trivial discomforts.
Right.
This stark contrast to Wuji's high-stakes, action-oriented mission serves as this continuous psychological probe. And what's interesting is the physical confinement itself. Wuji's movement within the compound is severely limited. There are numerous forbidden zones,
Yeah, like Shang Wanren's study, the young mistress's courtyard, even the warehouses.
all guarded by 7 or 8 people, and Wuji notes to himself that it wouldn't be hard to take them down, but he doesn't.
Right. His self-restraint is a key indicator here, isn't it? Shows maybe he's learned something. The concept of these forbidden zones and the constant surveillance is crucial. It highlights the pervasive, almost suffocating security of the Tang family, but also serves as a means of control and observation of Wuji himself. He's basically in this gilded cage.
Totally.
His understanding that impatience spoils great plans, which he now deeply feels, isn't just a personal virtue he adheres to. He interprets this confinement as a deliberate, subtle test by Shang Wanren. It showcases his analytical mind and strategic patience, even under immense psychological duress. He's choosing to endure, to wait, to observe, which is like a rare trait for someone known for his drive and maybe impulsiveness.
And that strategic patience is what ultimately sets him apart, potentially. So after days of this monotonous existence, the letter-like beef, the boring ledgers, Wuji's natural restlessness finally starts to bubble up.
Can't blame him.
No. He longs to explore the bustling, vibrant streets of Tang family, a stark contrast to his isolated courtyard. Lao Kong, meanwhile, continues his daily routine. Somehow finishing 3 meals in the time it takes Wuji to eat one, perpetually drinking, and reliably returning home late and drunk. This mundane routine, though, offers Wuji a potential window into a different world.
It's a fascinating study in class distinctions, isn't it? Lao Kong explains Wuji's confinement by saying, with a shrug, you are a superior person. Whereas he and others can roam freely because we are inferior people. Those places are only for inferior people. He lists these inferior matters as drinking, gambling, and fondling young girls.
Which is will.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is where Lao Kong reveals his cynical, yet remarkably insightful philosophy about social class and activities. This raises an important question about social stratification and how it's portrayed in the narrative, doesn't it? Lao Kong's seemingly simple philosophy offers the cynical, yet profoundly perceptive, commentary on societal hypocrisy.
No, so.
He argues that the very same act, like drinking or gambling, is considered superior if done by superior people in superior places. But it's inferior if done by inferior people in inferior places.
Oh, right, double standard.
Exactly. This distinction, while seemingly simplistic on the surface, reflects a complex understanding of social norms, the blurred lines of morality, and how perceived status can dictate acceptable behavior. Wuji, ever the pragmatist, immediately sees through this facade, or maybe sees an opportunity in it.
Yeah.
He realizes that this underworld of inferior people might be his key to gaining intelligence, a backdoor into the inner workings of the Tang family. He states, even if I am a superior person by day, at night I become an inferior person. This is a calculated strategic move. It showcases his remarkable adaptability and willingness to blur social lines, to compromise his perceived status, to achieve his objectives.
Precisely. Wuji doesn't just see a chance for escape here. He sees an opportunity to break free from his confinement and gather critical intelligence by mingling with the lower strata, the very people Sheng Wanren might overlook. He believes the chance, however slim, to maybe get close enough to assassinate Shang Wanren could arise from engaging with these seemingly insignificant people and places.
Still focused on the mission.
Absolutely. It highlights his single-minded focus, not on personal pleasure, but on his core objective.
Indeed. Wuji's decision demonstrates his profound understanding that vital information often resides in unexpected places, beyond the controlled environments of the superior world. This exploration of the underworld sets the stage for a critical encounter that will further complicate his mission and introduce him to a figure who will really shatter his preconceived notions.
And that critical encounter happens in a chaotic, smoke-filled gambling den. This is where Wuji has his first direct interaction with the enigmatic Xuanqi. Lokong, having brought Wuji there, issues this dire, almost frantic warning. Xuanqi is the big maid of the young mistress. Whoever messes with her messes with the young mistress, like putting your head into a supersized hornet's nest.
Not subtle.
Not at all. This immediately tells us she's not just any maid. She's someone with significant backing, someone whose influence is far greater than her title implies. Connected.
This is where it gets really interesting. Wuji's subsequent actions are not random. They feel a deliberate, calculated provocation, a strategic move to draw out the big fish, the young mistress herself.
I think he's aiming that high already.
I think so. His acute understanding of human nature, combined with his incredible skills, allows him to manipulate the situation to his advantage, despite Lakong's dire warnings about the consequences. He's playing a dangerous game.
The gambling den itself sounds awful. A sensory assault,
Yeah.
smoke-filled, noisy, smelling like an overturned trash can, a vile, oppressive atmosphere. Yet the dozens of people crammed into this small, cramped room are utterly oblivious, their focus laser-sharp, intently watching Xuanqi.
All eyes on her.
Yeah, and her appearance, too, is deceptive. She's described as white, small, pretty, sweet, with deep dimples like a little white flower. But when she gambles, her demeanor transforms entirely. She becomes fierce, ruthless, embodying a big white wolf. Total switch.
Xuanqi's character is a fascinating study in contrasts. Her initial sweet appearance versus her fierce, almost predatory gambling persona immediately introduces this dynamic and potentially dangerous figure into Wuji's orbit. And her powerful connection to the young mistress hints at deeper, as yet unrevealed family dynamics and a hidden power structure within the Tang family that Wuji is only just beginning to stumble upon.
And the stakes in this chaotic scene are high and quickly escalating. A large, pockmarked man identified as a guard from Shangwan Ren's study.
Oh, connection.
Right. He bets his entire fortune, 13 taels of silver. The tension is palpable as the dice are rolled, and like magic, they constantly come up 4, 5, 6.
Uh-oh.
Fixed. Totally fixed. The pockmarked man, realizing he's been cheated, tries to renege, but Xuanqi is swift and ruthless, poised to enforce her win with a brutal slap. That's when Wuji intervenes.
Wuji's swift intervention, grabbing Xuanqi's hand before she can slap the man, isn't really an act of chivalry in the traditional sense, is it?
Doesn't feel like it.
No, it's a meticulously calculated move. His speed surprises everyone, immediately establishing his prowess and drawing all eyes to him. More importantly, he immediately exposes the fixed dice, stating coolly that they are fake and always roll 4, 5, 6. This is a public challenge, a direct undermining of Xuanqi's control and authority. It's designed to draw attention directly to himself, to make himself a target worthy of the young mistress's notice.
And he ups the ante dramatically, almost recklessly. Wuji bets 130, tails a staggering sum, 10 times the pockmarked man's entire fortune that he can roll 4, 5, 6, 10 times in a row with the very same fake dice.
Bold, very bold.
Xuanqi, supremely confident in her deception, maybe slightly intrigued by Wuji's audacity, tells him that if he succeeds, she'll do anything he wants.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, a bold, almost reckless promise, brimming with suggestive undertones. And Wuji, of course, stone-faced, successfully rolls 4, 5, 6, 10 times consecutively, baffling Xuanqi and the stunned onlookers.
The implication of the anything you want promise is a classic narrative trope, isn't it? But here, it's masterfully employed by Wuji to achieve a strategic end, not just personal pleasure. It highlights his cunning and his willingness to use social and emotional leverage to gain access or information.
Right. And after his flawless execution, Xuanqi's face turns this deep red as she realizes the full, suggestive implication of her promise. She quickly asks Wuji where he lives, and despite her embarrassment, promises to find him, implying a night rendezvous. This entire exchange sets the hook, not just for Xuanqi, but for the elusive young mistress herself, who Wuji correctly surmises will react to this public challenge to her maid's operation.
He's reeled them in, or thinks he has.
Right. And this public confrontation ignites Lokong's already simmering worry into a full-blown panic. He expresses grave concern over Wuji provoking the young mistress, predicting absolute disaster, picturing Wuji's head firmly in that supersized hornet's nest.
He's probably right to be worried.
Probably. But Wuji, he's completely unconcerned. In fact, he confidently states he only fears she won't come. His plan is clear, if audacious. Use Xuanji to draw out the young mistress, whom he still dismisses as merely an 18 or 19-year-old girl he can easily handle.
Underestimating her, perhaps.
Seems like it. He's confident in his ability to manipulate her to his advantage, seemingly underestimating the true power and influence that surrounds her.
Wuji's confidence, bordering on arrogance at this point, is a significant character beat. He still perceives the young mistress as this girl who can be outmaneuvered, underestimating her potential and the formidable forces surrounding her. This raises an important question. Why does the young mistress, who appears unimportant to Wuji, need such a formidable and frankly eccentric retinue? It hints at her true significance and the complex power dynamics within the Tang family, a web Wuji is about to stumble headfirst into.
And that retinue quickly makes their dramatic appearance, arriving shortly after Lao Kang's frantic warnings. First up, there's Jenda, or Gold Boss.
Okay.
He's a tall, skinny man with unnaturally wide shoulders and long arms. But despite his lean physique, his body is incredibly tough, able to withstand Huaizi's full punch without even flinching a blow that would fell most men, sounding like it hit a piece of cured cowhide.
Wow.
His expression is blank, his face described as washed-out blue, like faded blue cloth, giving him this almost spectral presence.
Jinda's years, this unique ability to literally absorb punishment, is not just a quirk. It's a meticulously crafted psychological weapon. It's a highly effective combat strategy.
How so? It's just being tough, isn't it?
It's more than that. His body scarred and etched with the names of those he's outlasted. It isn't just a testament to his endurance. It's a living map of his victories. By enduring blows that would incapacitate anyone else, he not only exhausts his opponents, but fundamentally breaks their will to fight.
Ah, the psychological aspect.
Exactly. It's a strategic investment in pain, creating a reputation so terrifying that, as the text hints, the very knowledge of it often deters opponents before a punch is even thrown. He explains that by taking a blow, he can then return a greater injury, usually sending his opponents to bed for months, while he only suffers for weeks. This isn't just toughness, it's a masterclass in leveraging reputation and sustained suffering for strategic dominance.
Except against Tang Ao, apparently.
Right, the only exception mentioned is Tang Ao, hinting at an even higher level of martial prowess within the family.
Okay, so Jinda is the tank. Then there's Yizhang Hong, or Wenzhang Red. She's a very tall woman in striking red, older, with wrinkles that tell a story, but still possessing an alluring presence and an incredibly witty, sharp tongue. She constantly teases Huaizi, her name implying a dangerous and widely recognized reputation across the Southwest martial arts world. She's got this flirtatious, almost mocking demeanor that unnerves people, capable of disarming opponents with words as much as with skill.
Yizhang Hong's presence adds another layer of complexity to this formidable group. She represents cunning and wit, balancing Jinna's brute force. Her ability to verbally spar and maintain composure in such a volatile environment speaks to her own unique strength, not necessarily physical. Her name, Wenzhang Red, or 10-foot Red, suggests a dominant and perhaps notorious presence, signifying a mastery that extends beyond just raw power.
Okay, wit and force. Next we have Huaizi, or Dwarf Hu. He's a strikingly short man, prone to fits of fury, with a booming voice that completely belies his size. He's notoriously known for peeking at women, bathing a crude, almost comical detail that nonetheless speaks to his less refined, impulsive nature.
Yeah, bit of a creep.
Definitely. Despite this, he possesses powerful qigong, that traditional Chinese practice involving vital energy so potent it's capable of shaking an entire room. He even tries to punch Lao Kong out of spite, only to be effortlessly blocked by Jinda, highlighting the layered power dynamics even within this group.
Huaizi's character is this volatile mix of brute strength and petty behavior. His immense qigong power, capable of shaking a room, is a direct counterpoint to his smaller stature and crude habits. He embodies raw, untamed power that can be directed impulsively, making him unpredictable and dangerous. The fact that such an eccentric and powerful figure is part of this entourage further emphasizes the varied and unconventional nature of the young mistress's protectors, shows the Tang family values unique, albeit unusual abilities.
And finally, perhaps the most intriguing of them all, is Nipusa Bing Daifu, Mud Bodhisattva Dr. Bing.
The sick doctor.
Exactly. He's the sick doctor. constantly bundled in fur robes despite the warm weather, perpetually coughing and sneezing, looking frail and near death, barely clinging to life. Paradoxically, he's revered as one of the four divine doctors of the martial arts world.
Quite the title for someone who looks like he's about to keel over.
Right. He can diagnose illnesses simply by looking at someone, and upon seeing Wuji, he immediately discerns Wuji's heart disease. But what's truly bizarre is that he cannot cure himself, because, as he explains, if he does, he would die.
Wait, what? How does that work?
His chronic illness, it turns out, serves as a shield, protecting him from the many powerful individuals he offended in the past with his medical interventions. People leave him alone because they think he's dying anyway.
Wow. So his weakness is his strength.
Exactly. He even tries to test Wuji by asking him to stick out his tongue, a traditional diagnostic method, which Wuji, ever defiant, refuses.
The irony of Dr. Bing's perpetual illness is a fascinating philosophical paradox. Here's a divine doctor who could cure anything but chooses to remain sick. Why? Because his perceived frailty and imminent death act as an impenetrable shield. In a world where martial prowess makes you a target, vulnerability becomes the ultimate camouflage.
That's a really interesting point.
It forces us to question, how often do we mistake perceived weakness for actual powerlessness, both in fiction and in life? This group of guardians, Jinda's unyielding body, Yizhang's sharp wit, Huaizi's raw power, and Bing Daifu's paradoxical vulnerability is not just a collection of bodyguards. They represent different facets of the martial arts world, each a detailed study in unique abilities and motivations. Their collective, formidable, and eccentric presence strongly suggests that the unimportant young mistress is anything but. She must be of immense hidden significance.
What a colorful, formidable group indeed. This entire scene, the introduction of these powerful and eccentric guardians, builds this palpable tension for the dramatic entrance of the young mistress. The very atmosphere in the room seems to shift and soften, filled now with a faint, sweet fragrance, like lotus, but even sweeter, almost intoxicating. And then she appears, Lian Adlan, described as young, beautiful, and noble, carrying an undeniable aura of grace, but with an underlying sadness. There's a profound loneliness about her that Wuji immediately perceives, a vulnerability that contrasts sharply with her imposing retinue.
Here's where it gets really interesting. This is the absolute core of the conflict, that classic aha moment that just redefines the entire story for both Wuji and, for us reading it.
Yeah.
The recognition isn't just personal, it throws Wuji's entire mission into question, revealing the depth of the deception and the profound emotional stakes for everyone involved. It's a pivotal moment where the true narrative starts to unfurl.
Xuanji, ever the loyal maid, quick to defend her mistress, points directly at Wuji and accuses him, saying, "It's him," implying his inappropriate intentions from the gambling den. The room falls into this stunned silence, everyone waiting for Lanlian's reaction, the gravity of the accusation hanging heavy in the air.
And then...
Then comes the dramatic reveal, a moment of mutual shock that just reverberates through the narrative. Wuji recognizes her instantly as Lian Yilian, the very woman who had previously caused him so much trouble and would inexplicably faint around him, seemingly at random. And now, in this charged moment, he learns the devastating truth. She is Shang Guanren's daughter.
The implications of Lian Lian being Lian Yilian are massive. It shifts Wuji's entire world on its axis. Her past actions, the fainting spells, her seemingly random appearances, the trouble she caused, all take on a completely new, chilling meaning.
Were they part of the plan too?
That's the question, isn't it? Were they a deliberate deception, or simply her natural character, burdened by this terrible secret? Her sadness now seems to stem from a much deeper hidden burden, a conflict that has been brewing within her for a long, agonizing time. It shatters Wuji's perception of her as just some obstacle or target, transforming her into something far more complex. A potential victim, or maybe another player in a game he doesn't fully grasp.
And the recognition is indeed mutual. It's a silent, powerful acknowledgement between them. Lanlian knew Wuji was Zhao Wuji, the very man who had sworn to kill her father. She had even pursued him to Hefeng Mountain Villa, secretly investigating him, trying to understand the depth of his hatred.
Wow.
This is where Wuji suddenly, tragically understands why Tong Yu, another character from his past, had spared him earlier. Tong Yu had realized Lian Yilian's true identity as Shang Guanren's daughter, and, in an act of loyalty to the Tang family, had immediately sent her back to her father, protecting the family connection.
The mutual recognition creates this stunning, heavy silence in the room. Everyone else senses the complex, unspoken dynamic between them, a history laden with unrevealed truths. It's a moment of profound narrative shift, signaling that the personal stakes have just become infinitely higher.
And what does Lian do?
She turns and leaves without a word, a graceful but decisive exit. But then she stops at the door and softly, almost as an undeniable command, says 4 words to Wuji. You follow me.
Wow.
It's compelling and utterly terrifying, right? Leading Wuji into an unknown, potentially fatal next step. This command underscores her newfound authority in his eyes, transitioning from an unknown girl to a powerful figure with a critical, perhaps even life or death role in his destiny.
So Wuji finds himself in this impossible position, following Lian through the dark, quiet garden. It's a tense, slow journey, the air heavy with unspoken truths. Lian walks ahead, her presence guiding him, and Wuji follows at a distance, every sense on high alert, constantly on guard, keenly aware of hidden ambushes.
Yeah, he knows they're there.
He knows Jinda, Yizhanghong, Huaizi, Bing Daifu, and undoubtedly other unknown experts are watching his every move. Their presence, a suffocating, unseen threat, ready to strike if he makes a single wrong move.
This is a core moment of profound emotional conflict for both Wuji and Lianlian. Lianlian is caught in this impossible bind, a dead knot, as the text so poignantly describes it. It's that classic tragic dilemma: loyalty to family versus the harrowing truth of a grievous wrong, and the crushing burden of inherited conflict.
And Wuji.
He's grappling with the immediate visceral conflict of his lifelong mission colliding head-on with this shocking personal revelation. A woman he once dismissed now holding the key to his fate.
Wuji even feels the primal temptation to strike Lian down, to silence the secret that could undo him in his mission, to eliminate this sudden, dangerous complication.
Can you blame him? From his perspective.
Right, but he quickly realizes that killing her would lead to his own immediate demise, given the overwhelming hidden protection surrounding her. He's trapped, caught between his vengeance and an unwinnable fight. Lian then stops at a small moon gate in front of a quiet courtyard with a serene lotus pond, the delicate scent of lotus leaves filling the night air. It's a poignant, almost poetic setting for what's about to unfold. She addresses her unseen guards, her voice clear and calm, telling them Wuji is an old friend and she wishes to talk quietly, warning against any interruptions.
Clever move.
Yeah, it ensures their privacy, allowing for this devastatingly intimate conversation, but it also isolates Wuji completely with her, putting him at her mercy, in a way.
Wuji's coldness here, considering killing her, it feels like a coping mechanism, a testament to the brutal discipline required for his mission. His forced emotional detachment allows him to even consider it, right? A woman he once pitied, now a profound complication.
Yeah.
And Lianlian's action, ensuring privacy, is a subtle move of control, drawing Wuji deeper into her confidences, while simultaneously exposing them both to greater peril if their secret were to somehow get out. It amplifies the tension, making their conversation this high-stakes confession.
It's a truly poignant setting for a devastating confession that will shake Wuji to his core. Lian finally turns to Wuji, her gaze complex, a mix of sorrow and resolve, and states simply, "I know who you are. I know why you came."
No point denying it.
Nope. Wuji, recognizing the futility of denial, accepts the inevitable and admits, "I am here to kill Shangguan Ren." Lian then reveals her profound internal conflict, echoing his own torment. "You did nothing wrong. If I were you, I would also kill him."
Wow.
But then the crushing reality hits, the dead knot that binds her. Her father is Shangguan Ren, the man Wuji seeks to destroy.
That's the crux of it. She goes on to confess her long-held doubt, her desperate inability to believe her father could have committed such a heinous act as killing Wuji's father. She reveals that she even went to Hefeng Mountain Villa herself to investigate, secretly visiting Wuji's father's study, searching for any clue, any piece of evidence that could absolve her father or untie this knot of hatred.
Trying to find a way out.
Desperately. This dead knot has tormented her, waking her in cold sweats as she pondered, with growing dread, what she would do if Wuji ever came for revenge. She admits her past attempts to approach Wuji were genuine efforts to reconcile the hatred, a desperate plea to resolve this generational conflict, willing to do anything if he could forgive her father.
But Wuji's response, forged in years of vengeful purpose, is hardened and unyielding, isn't it?
Absolutely cold. He tells her without hesitation that if he had known her identity then, if he had known she was Shangguan Ren's daughter, he would have killed her without a second thought.
Ouch.
Yeah. Lian's despair in that moment is heartbreaking, a raw, poignant expression of a soul in torment. She says with a voice filled with sorrow, "If you had killed me then, I would not blame you. Perhaps I would even be grateful."
Oh, man.
She feels it would have been better to die then than face this agonizing torment, this impossible, crushing choice between unwavering loyalty to her father and the devastating truth of Wuji's righteous revenge.
The idea of death as a release, articulated by Lian, is incredibly poignant. It reveals the intense psychological pressure she is under, a torment she views as worse than death itself.
Yeah, her willingness to sacrifice herself for a truth she cannot reconcile or for a peace she cannot attain elevates her dilemma beyond mere personal conflict into this tragic universal theme of inherited burdens. Her ultimate offer for Wuji to kill her, the simple, chilling act of handing him her sword, is a desperate, radical solution to an otherwise unsolvable problem. It forces Wuji into a moral reckoning.
And it sets up the next critical, heart-stopping moment. Lian makes this desperate, selfless offer. If I die, you and my father can live.
Her logic is chillingly rational, in a way.
How so?
She truly believes her death is the only way to protect Wuji's secret from being revealed by her omnipresent guards, and perhaps more profoundly, the only way to lessen the hatred between their families, to break the cycle of vengeance. She calmly hands Wuji her sword, its cold hilt a shocking contrast to her warm hand, and asks him, with chilling resolve, to kill her. You kill me. This raises an important question. Who truly sacrifices more in this moment? Lian act is a radical solution to an unsolvable problem, a desperate act of love and selflessness that aims to resolve a conflict that has torn her apart. It forces a moral reckoning upon Wuji and, by extension, upon us, the audience. Her logic, as I said, is chillingly rational within the confines of their deadly predicament. Her death ensures Wuji's secret remains hidden and allows him to escape, thus saving him from her father's vengeance, and by extension, potentially saving her father from Wuji's pursuit. It's a tragic, almost unbearable calculus of sacrifice.
Wuji, a trained swordsman, holds the sword, its familiar weight now alien in his hand. He feels no real sensation, this profound dissociation as he stares at the woman offering her life. He cannot believe this is happening, the reality of it too surreal to process. His hesitation is palpable, a moment frozen in time.
And
Just then, in a sudden, shocking twist that snaps the illusion of privacy, Shangguan Ren steps out of the shadows, revealing he has been observing the entire time, the puppet master watching his pieces move.
Of course he was. Shangguan Ren's cunning is on full, terrifying display here. His ability to read Wuji, to predict his reactions, and to manipulate the situation, even at the perceived cost of his own daughter's life. It shows his cold calculation and mastery of human psychology. He immediately engages Wuji in the psychological game, calling his bluff.
Right.
Wuji, still holding the sword poised over Lian, threatens to kill her. But Shangguan Ren, with chilling certainty, states Wuji won't. Why? Because Wuji's true target is him, and killing Lian would mean losing his chance at the ultimate revenge. He's playing on Wuji's core motivation.
Shangguan Ren then proposes a trade, a twisted offer that cuts right to the core of Wuji's motivation. You release her, and I will give you a chance for a fair fight. He uses Wuji's lifelong, consuming motivation revenge against him, trying to control the outcome.
Calculated. But Lottie Killeen sees it.
Yes, Lian, witnessing this manipulative dynamic, this cold-blooded chess game being played with her life, makes the ultimate selfless sacrifice. Realizing Wuji is being played, that her life is just another pawn, she screams, "Please let him go," a plea for Wuji's safety, not her own, and throws herself onto Wuji's sword.
Oh, God.
Blood gushes out in a shocking torrent, and she falls, her life seemingly extinguished. Her self-sacrifice is an extreme act that shatters Wuji's resolve, breaks Shangguan Ren's control, and changes the narrative's direction entirely, with irreversible consequences.
It's an extraordinary, gut-wrenching moment. Lian's decision to take her own life, to choose her own fate rather than be a pawn in their deadly game, is a profound act of agency. It shifts the burden of choice from Wuji back to Shangguan Ren, and then, most tragically, onto herself. This shocking act is designed to shatter Wuji's single-minded focus on revenge and force both men to confront the devastating, bloody consequences of their actions and the intricate web of deception they are caught in. It's the ultimate, desperate move in a game of death.
The immediate aftermath of Lian's apparent death is pure, agonizing turmoil for Wuji. He feels a physical pain, so intense it's as if he himself has been stabbed. Lian's final desperate plea, "Please let him go," resonates powerfully within him, echoing in the stunned silence. And then the ultimate dream come true for a man consumed by revenge presents itself. Shangguan Ren, momentarily distracted, turns his back to Wuji to check on Lian, leaving himself completely exposed.
The perfect shot.
This is Wuji's ultimate dream scenario, the perfect, unlooked-for chance to avenge his father, laid bare before him.
This is a moment of profound psychological complexity. Shang Wanren's back is turned. The target is exposed. Wu Ji has the sword primed for the kill. This raises that important question again. What is the true nature of loyalty when it demands such extreme public betrayal and personal sacrifice? The White Jade Tiger plan, as we are about to discover, is a devastatingly clever yet morally ambiguous strategy. It turns our understanding of good and evil completely on its head, forcing Wu Ji to reevaluate everything he thought he knew about vengeance and justice.
But Wu Ji, miraculously, raises the sword to strike, hesitates for an agonizing moment, and then stops. He stops.
Ah, for all this.
The reasons for this profound, unprecedented halt are complex and layered. There's Lanlian's fresh blood on the sword, a stark, visceral reminder of her sacrifice, a saying on his purpose. There's his promise to Sikong Xiaofeng, another character from his past, to return a mysterious white jade tiger to Shang Wanren before striking, a condition he now remembers. But the deepest reason, as the narrative explains, is simply because he is Zhao Wuji. There are innumerable reasons why he, in that critical moment, cannot strike. His identity, his essence, defies the act.
This internal struggle is absolutely pivotal. Wu Ji's inability to strike in that moment, despite years of single-minded, vengeful pursuit, signifies a fundamental, almost spiritual shift within him. It's not just about an external obstacle or a forgotten promise. It's about his inherent character, a deeper morality, or perhaps a profound shock that prevents him from completing the act. This hints at the immense personal cost of the White Jade Tiger strategy on Wu Ji's soul, already beginning to unfold before the full truth is even known.
It's at this crucial point, when Wu Ji stands paralyzed by an internal conflict, that Shang Wanren unleashes the grand revelation, pulling back the final curtain on a lifetime of deception.
Here it comes.
He confirms, with chilling composure, that he knew Wu Ji's true identity from the very moment he first stepped into the Tang family compound. He details, with meticulous precision, how Wu Ji had died 4 times during his perilous journey, but was miraculously saved each time by someone who didn't want him dead.
Someone pulling strings the whole time.
Exactly. His fake identity as Liu Tang was known. His nighttime infiltration of the Tang family was known. His refusal to kill Xiaobao, a spy, was not only known, but expected. His seemingly strategic alliance with Lai Zentian, who was planning to betray him, was known from the outset. All these threats, Shang Wanren reveals, were systematically removed by an unknown yet powerful benefactor, guiding Wu Ji along a predetermined path.
This unpacking of the deception is just mind-boggling in its scope and meticulousness. It reveals the meticulous long-term strategy at play, a game of chess spanning years with human lives as pieces. Wu Ji's entire life has been built on a lie, a carefully constructed illusion for a greater hidden purpose.
Everything.
His suffering, his all-consuming quest for revenge, his very identity all, are now redefined by this shattering truth. The double-edged sword of the White Jade Tiger plan is that it saves Wu Ji from committing an irreversible wrong, but it also shatters the very foundation of his existence, leaving him utterly adrift in a world where nothing is as it seemed.
The ultimate truth is then revealed through the White Jade Tiger itself, the very object Wu Ji has carried and coveted. In his inner turmoil, in that moment of profound revelation, Wu Ji instinctively crushes the Jade Tiger he has always carried, the symbol of his quest.
And it's hollow.
It is hollow, revealing its secret. A concealed document written by his father, Zhao Jin, before his apparent death. This document reveals the White Jade Tiger plan, a desperate, intricate strategy concocted by Zhao Jian, Shang Wanren, and Sikong Xiaofeng to save the Great Wind Hall from the powerful, encroaching alliance of Thunderclap Hall and the formidable Tang family.
The strategic brilliance and the ethical cost of such a plan are immense, truly pushing the boundaries of what we consider acceptable sacrifice. The goal was multifaceted: delay impending attacks, strengthen their own forces from within, sow internal conflict among their enemies, gather vital intelligence, find antidotes for insidious poisons, and root out deep-seated traitors.
A massive undertaking.
Huge. To gain the Tang family's absolute unquestioning trust, they needed a sacrifice as profound, as devastatingly convincing as General Fan Qi's head in ancient times. For context, General Fan Qi was a historical figure who famously offered his own head to facilitate an alliance, highlighting the ultimate, almost unfathomable level of trust and commitment this plan demanded.
So what was the sacrifice here?
Zhao Jian, Wu Ji's own father, willingly offered his head, faking his own death, to be presented as a brutal betrayal by Shangguan Ren, thereby allowing Shangguan Ren to infiltrate the Tang family at the highest level. The code name for this desperate clandestine operation was White Jade Tiger,
Oh my God.
his own father, and the deliberate deception extended, most painfully, to Wu Ji himself. They chose his wedding day for the staged murder to ensure maximum impact and credibility, to solidify Shangguan Ren's betrayal in the eyes of their enemies. Wu Ji was deliberately kept completely in the dark about his father's true fate and the grand scheme,
Why? Why keep him in the dark?
precisely to make his revenge quest seem authentic. His hatred absolute, his suffering genuine. It had to look real to everyone. The white jade tiger he carried contained the truth, a failsafe, to be revealed only if Wu Ji somehow managed to overcome all obstacles and reach Shangguan Ren, proving himself worthy and capable of carrying on the mission. His entire life, every struggle, every tear, every act of vengeance, has been a carefully orchestrated illusion, a cruel but necessary part of a grander design. The profound implications for Wu Ji are almost unbearable, an existential earthquake. His father isn't a victim of betrayal, but a willing martyr, a hero in the shadows. The man he sought to kill, the target of his lifelong hatred, is not a villain, but a fellow warrior, a benefactor, enduring immense shame and isolation for a cause Wu Ji now unknowingly shares. This revelation completely inverts his world, forcing him to reevaluate every action, every suffering he endured, every definition of loyalty and betrayal under a new agonizing light. His entire identity, built on the bedrock of revenge, has just shattered.
So what does this all mean for Wuji? For his future? For his very soul? His reaction to this devastating truth is one of crushing, almost unbearable pain. His father is indeed dead, his family scattered, his future wife potentially with another man, her life now irrevocably linked to this grand deception. His past sacrifices, which he bore with this fierce sense of righteous purpose, now seem utterly ridiculous, mocked by the truth. He feels an overwhelming urge to laugh out his insides, to completely destroy himself, consumed by a profound existential crisis.
So what does this all mean? The story culminates in this inverted purpose, a complete reversal of Wu Ji's driving force. Wu Ji, who was consumed by revenge, is now suddenly burdened with protection. It highlights the fluidity of roles and the immense weight of responsibility that can reshape an individual entirely. The psychological impact of having one's entire identity and purpose redefined by a single shattering truth is immense. Wu Ji is forced to reconcile the image of his father as a victim with that of a willing martyr, and his enemy as a hero, a partner in a shared tragic cause.
The paradox is unbearable, almost maddening. The man he wanted to kill, the architect of his suffering, is his benefactor, a heroic warrior who endured shame and isolation for a greater cause. Wu Ji now faces an impossible internal conflict. He cannot kill Shangguan Ren, for Shangguan Ren is carrying out his father's final mission.
Right.
Nor can he let him die, as Shangguan Ren's death would render his father's ultimate sacrifice meaningless, reducing it to a futile act. His sword, once brimming with single-minded killing intent, now lacks that crucial killing aura, its purpose irrevocably altered.
Shangguan Ren, with a profound understanding of Wu Ji's inner turmoil, states clearly that Wu Ji cannot die either, because he has a new critical role to play in this grand ongoing mission.
What's the new mission?
Stark, demanding, and utterly transformative. Wu Ji must protect Shangguan Ren with all his might, just as he once sought to kill him. This is his profound duty to his father's memory, the true way to honor his father's immense sacrifice and continue the White Jade Tiger plan. The nature of living on for Wu Ji is not just survival, but carrying a heavy, complex legacy and completing a mission far different than the one he initially conceived.
And then in a moment of pure relief for Wu Ji, another revelation, Lianlin is not dead.
Ah,
Okay, her father, Shangguan Ren, with his quick medical expertise, swiftly applied medicine to her wound, stopping the bleeding and saving her life. Wu Ji's duty expands even further, becoming even more complex. He must now also protect Lianlin, seeing her and others as innocent lives, now inextricably linked to and at stake for the success of this grand, painful mission.
From hunter to guardian.
Exactly. The crushing weight of this realization, the profound shift from destroyer to protector, is immense. But Wu Ji, having endured the shattering truth, makes a resolute decision.
This narrative brilliantly showcases the core thematic conflict, as described in the postscript to the story. The conflict of emotion and reason, emotion and responsibility, emotion and hatred. The knot of Wuji's suffering and purpose is not untied, but solidified, transforming him in a way he never could have imagined. He declares, with a newfound resolve that echoes through the silence, "I will never die. I must live on."
Wow.
It's a profound decision to bear the heavy, complex legacy of his father and complete the White Jade Tiger plan, even if it means living a life he never imagined, defined by protection rather than retribution, a life lived for a truth that was once his deepest lie.
What a journey indeed, filled with layers upon layers of deception, profound sacrifice, and the ultimate test of character.
Right.
We saw how quickly perception can shift and how the lines between hero and villain can blur entirely when a greater unseen game is at play. It's a powerful reminder that the stories we tell ourselves and the truths we cling to can be completely upended by unexpected revelations, demanding a fundamental reevaluation of our entire world.
Yeah, this deep dive into White Jade Tiger really compels us to consider. In a world where truth can often masked by intention and personal sacrifice can take the most unimaginable, devastating forms, how do we truly define our purpose? And what does it mean to live a life without regret when faced with such profound, complex, and often agonizing choices, where even vengeance can be a carefully crafted illusion? It challenges us to reflect on our own understanding of loyalty, the burdens we carry, and the hidden truths that may shape our destinies.